Yesterday I was introducing about time, speed and distance. Okay, I have told you the basics of how these three things, that is T, S, D, are interrelated. Okay, so for a given distance, T and S are inversely proportional. Yeah, T and S are inversely proportional. Yes, and for a given speed, distance will vary according to time, and for given time, the speed will vary according to distance, or distance will be set according to the speed. Yes, so this relation you have, and the underlying important formula is distance is equal to speed and multiplication of speed and time. Okay, and whenever we talk about this speed, like, can you maintain the same speed throughout your journey? Just within a span of 100 meter only, you cannot, like, hold the proper speed. So this understanding of speed is not that easy, Like, understanding of distance is fine. Distance will not vary. Understanding of the time is like, will not vary, because at the start of your journey, you will press start button. At the end of your journey, you will press the end button. Then you will have the proper time. So to understand the concept of distance and to understand the concept of time, it is not so difficult. Yeah, but speed. Can you maintain the same speed throughout? You start from 0, right? From 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. Can you hold at 40 throughout? Every second, every microsecond, your speed will be varying, yes or no? When the hump comes, it is almost 0. Yes. After the hump, again, it is from 0 to 40, it will vary. Understand? And in a congestion, you will go with 10, 15, 20 speed. When the road is very clear and straight, you will go with more than 60. Understand? So you cannot draw the chart of the speed like this, from 0 and like again. You cannot get the concept of speed. What is the right speed? Understand? And whatever your speedometer shows, speedometer, in your bike or car, like speedometer will be there. This speedometer is momentary. Whatever that you are seeing in the speedometer, it is just at that moment. It will vary by few kilometers, or you will have the markings from 0, 20, 40, 60. So between 40 and 60, there will be 5 or 10 markings. So again, let's say 42, 44. So what exactly is your speed? Like, you will not know. And accelerator will be in your hand, right? So accelerator does what? It varies the speed. Yes or no? It varies the speed. But speed is given by what? Distance by time. So if you want to understand the variation of the speed, it is not so simple. That is why we come across differentiation and integration. That is where our maths will have a deadline. Or let's say dead end. There we stop learning. When differentiation and integration comes, there we stop. Because we will be taught only what? Differentiation of x square is equal to 2x. Differentiation of x is equal to 1. Yes? dy by dx. Yeah. If y is equal to x, dy by dx is equal to 1. This is what we know. Why this? Where it is applicable, nobody in the world will tell you. Especially our lecturers from PU level, or even in the technical, the engineering level or in degree level, they will not tell the application of it. Whatever that is written in the book, that's it. That is why we fail to learn. For few fellows, it happens with logarithms also. For few fellows, it happens with trigonometry also. And for few fellows, it happens at the very early age, at the basics of algebra, that is a plus b whole square. Why do we learn? Nobody will tell us, and our interest goes down. So most important thing is arithmetic. Arithmetic, like, you will see, whatever that you read in the book, that you implement. Arithmetic. Geometry also, up to some extent, you implement the basics what you learn. while you are designing, while you are like doing some art or coloring or even rangoli, all that thing, you will understand the importance of geometry. But when it comes to algebra, again the Himalayan task will begin from there. Then when it reaches trigonometry in geometry and logarithm in arithmetic, it's gone. Your interest will already, you have been scared of maths, and upon that these bigger things will come and will have a legitimate reason to leave maths. Yes, so that is what happens. Okay, so speed, it is not that easy to understand. Accelerator, for example, if you are not moving the accelerator, you are holding it still. You are holding it still. Will your speed fall back to zero? Will it fall back to zero? No. If you are holding your accelerator still, the same speed will be maintained in the speedometer. In your bike or car, there are two meters. One is speedometer, other is odometer. What is speedometer and odometer? Yes. Odometer gives you the idea about how many kilometers you have covered or how much distance your vehicle has covered. Speedometer will give you the momentary speed, at which speed you are going. Understand? So don't go to this differentiation and integration, and I don't want to scare you away from this. Okay? Just know the speed is difficult concept to understand, and whatever the speed that we get in the reading of the speedometer, it is a momentary speed, and whatever that we get in our problems, it is uniform or average speed. How is it calculated? For example, yesterday I was giving you the example of one journey that is from here to Mysore, let's say 150 kilometer. Okay, if you have covered this distance in 3 hours, if you have covered this distance in 3 hours, we can give speed as 150 kilometer divided by what? Distance is 150 kilometers and you are covering the entire journey in 3 hours. So what is the speed? 50 kilometer per hour? 50 kilometer per hour, yes or no? So this speed is what? From the start, you are not at 50 kilometer per hour. Throughout the journey, you are not at 50 kilometer per hour. Your average speed for the journey, is what? 50 kilometer per hour. It is 50 kilometer per hour. So if distance is equal to 150 and the time taken by you in hours is 3 hours, speed will be equal to 50. Importantly, this is kilometer, this is hour, so it is kilometer per hour. So this 50 kilometer per hour is your average speed from, going from Bangalore to Mysore. Okay, so this is your average speed. Sometimes you would have gone at 80 kilometer per hour also. Sometimes you have slowed down to 10 kilometer per hour also. But overall, you have covered the distance in 3 hours. So your average speed of the journey is what? 50 kilometer per hour. Done? Okay, 150 kilometers and 3 hours. Average speed is 50 kilometer per hour. Okay, while coming back for the same distance, for the same distance from Mysore to Bangalore, return journey, same, no? Same distance, no? Will it vary? No, right? So while coming, let's say there was congestion, traffic was there, and you will take 5 hours to come back. 5 hours to come back. So what's your average speed? 150 divided by 5 hours. 150 kilometers divided by 5 hours. That is 30 kilometer per hour. While going, your average speed was 50 kilometer per hour. While coming back, it is 30 kilometer per hour. Yes. Now tell me the average speed of the entire journey. Average speed of the entire journey. How much? 40 kilometer per hour? Yes. If I go by other method, I told you, you cannot maintain the uniform speed while going and coming back. It will be varying. Sometimes you will be going at 80 kilometer per hour, sometimes you will be at 10 kilometer per hour. Yeah. Again, why can't you take the distance as 150 and 150 totally how much? Total distance is how much? 300. What is the time duration for the entire journey? 8 hours, no? So what is the average speed? What is the average speed? You can tell me, see, while going you took 3 hours, while coming back you took 5 hours. The average for one time journey or one-way journey, average one-way journey is 4 hours. But you cannot calculate the average speed like that. Average speed will be what? 150 plus 150, 300 divided by total number of hours, 3 plus 5, 8. So 300 by 8. Average speed is equal to 300 divided by 8. How much it will be? 37.5 kilometer per hour. Does it make sense? It makes sense? Sure? Yeah? Correct, no? So, whenever you are calculating the average speed, it is always safe. It is always safe to calculate by this total distance of the entire journey divided by total time taken. Total distance of the entire journey divided by total time taken. And when we say total distance and total time, there is nothing called as total speed. Speed will be varying every second, every minute. So you cannot have total speed, that will be wrong. You can have only average speed. You can have only average speed. Clear? Clear? Yeah. But in this case only, like from Bangalore to Mysore, it is 150 kilometer. And while going, like you went at 50 kilometer per hour. While going, you went at 50 kilometer per hour. But while coming back, you came with a speed of 30 kilometer per hour. Yes, this is what the example I had given to you. While going 50 kilometer per hour and while coming back 30 kilometer per hour. Here, you cannot apply the normal method of finding average, that is 50 plus 30 divided by 2. That will be wrong. Because speed as an entity, it is a derived entity. Is it a basic entity? Speed, is it basic entity? Just like time and distance? Just like time and distance, is it basic entity? It is depending upon distance and time. So it is a derived entity. It is a derived entity. Getting my point? So for a derived entity, you cannot have the average like this. That is 30 plus 50 by 2. You can have the harmonic mean. So far we have learned arithmetic progression and geometric progression. We have seen arithmetic mean. Yes or no? Or normal average we have seen. Geometric mean, it is not required for us. Beyond that, there is one more progression, that is harmonic progression. When A, B, C, D, E are in arithmetic progression, if they are in arithmetic progression, meanwhile, 1 by A, 1 by B, 1 by C, 1 by D, and 1 by E, they will be in harmonic progression. Yes? When A, B, C, D, E are in arithmetic progression, 1 by A, 1 by B, 1 by C, 1 by D, and 1 by E will be in harmonic progression. For example, 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, 1 by 5, 1 by 6, like that, they will be in harmonic progression. And there is one method of finding the average of these harmonic progressions. Understand? See, in this case, this 50 kilometer per hour is what? 150 divided by 3 hours, no? 150 divided by 3, right? Here, while coming back, it is 150 divided by 5, right? 150 divided by 5. So 150, 150 is common. But here, at the last, what will be remaining? 1 by 3 and 1 by 5. The average of 1 by 3 and 1 by 5 is not 1 by 4, mind you. Average of 1 by 3 and 1 by 5 is not 1 by 4. That is why the idea of finding the average speed differs. Getting my point? If the average of 1 by 3 and 1 by 5 was 1 by 4, you would have easily said, yeah, average of these speeds 30 and 50 would be 40. So that is where we go wrong. So in such method, you can find out the average speed when distance is same. Average speed at constant d. Constant d means distance is same. For both the journeys, distance is same. At that time, what you can, how you can find out the average speed is 2s1, s2, that is speed 1 and speed 2, 2 times of speed 1, speed 2, divided by s1 plus s2. Got it? But distance has to be same. Distance has to be same. If distance is not same, then we have to go for this method only. Total distance divided by total time. Or this is the safest method. This is the safest method. Never take the sum of speeds and divide by 2. Getting my point? Never take the sum of the speeds. If you make sum of speeds, it is wrong. In the yesterday's problems, in time and work, I have told you, when you take a plus b as something, that will be wrong. Similarly here, if you take the sum of the speed anywhere, that will be wrong. Got it? Yeah. So understood? So note these down for average speed. And this is for constant d. I will tell you the applications. Where do we apply it? Okay? I will tell you the application. Don't worry. One thing you have to understand, that is d is equal to s and t, and the interrelation between d and t, d and s, s and t. That's it. And the varieties of problem that we get here are huge in number. It is up to the imagination of the examiner. But if our concepts or the basics are very clear, then we don't have to worry. Fine? Okay. Can we look into few problems? Yeah. So it is 26. I think it is more hotter than the outside temperature. If you are feeling cold, you can shift. No problem, right? And from yesterday, the summer has set in. Yes? Can you sense? Yesterday, a few of you must be having some imbalance in the body. Dehydration, extra dehydration. Because until day before, it was fine. If you are consuming 2 liters water, now you would require 2.5 liters. Okay? Because the summer has set in. And tomorrow is Holi, right? So this is the time where the summer sets in. And this time I am seeming it to be very horrible. Because last 2 years, because of the lockdown, we are inside the house. This time we are not going to get feared for these lockdowns and even wave 4. Yes or no? We will be outside. Yeah, no matter what. Even like we want to become what? Shaheed. We'll definitely don't care about wave 4, I know. Okay? So please take care of your health during summers. Basically, dehydration is the main problem. Dehydration. And that too, in the cities like Bangalore, like dehydration will be more, because even the outside temperature is, let's say, 32, you will feel like 35. Outside temperature would be 32 only, but you will feel 35 because of the greenhouse effect. Because of the vehicular pollution, what we have around, you will feel more heat. Okay, if you are in far-flung places, when outside temperature is 32 degrees centigrade, even you will feel 32 degrees centigrade. But here, you will feel more. So take care of your health, drink more water. And if possible, more what? Juices or coconut water, whatever. Okay, more liquid, preferably cold. Okay, fine. Water is the best thing. Next best thing is very thin buttermilk, not curd. Very thin buttermilk. You can have 2 liters of buttermilk with you and you keep on drinking whole day. Understand? So it will maintain the proper balance. Curd is again bit hotter. It is more concentrated. It is hotter. Even up to some extent, milk is cold again. Milk is cold again. So try to have thin buttermilk. So this Nandini 7 rupees buttermilk is good enough. If you consume 2 per day, that would be enough. Okay, please take care of your health. And in this summer, your food intake will not be too much because you will not feel hungry, you will feel thirsty. Along with your thirst, try to supply some salts and sugars also. Try to supply, because carbohydrate from where you will get when you are not feeling hungry, when you are not feeling like eating. So you supply your, like maybe water or any, like juice or something with little sugar and salt also. Okay. Don't avoid sugar and salt now because it is needed. And when our brain is working, carbohydrate is the main thing. And even we need certain minerals. And I wish nobody is suffering from diabetes and hypertension here. For your age, it should be completely like avoidable. But little sugar and little salt is not a problem for you. And best thing, the cheapest thing is lemon water with sugar and salt. Best thing, 5 rupees, 1 lemon. It will be enough for 2 liters of water. Okay, you can have that. You can keep on sipping. Why I am telling? Because this is the main reason why people upset their health and upset their stomach mainly. Understand? So keep taking the fluids. Fine? Okay. First problem in this one. A goes 10 kilometer distance with average speed of 6 kilometer per hour. Average speed, when they say average speed, don't worry, it is speed only. I have told you, he cannot maintain 6 kilometer per hour throughout. Average speed means you can take from his start to end, he has maintained the speed of 6 kilometer per hour. While rest 20 kilometers, he travels with average speed of 15 kilometer per hour. Now tell me, do we have the constant distance here? Do we have the constant distance? Distance are varying. First patch of distance is how much? Second patch of distance, 20 kilometer. But what are the speeds? The speed for the first part of the journey is 6 kilometer per hour, and speed for the second part of the journey, this is per hour, okay? 15 kilometer per hour, okay? Fine. Fine. 15 kilometer per hour. So now I have told you how to calculate the average speed. It is total distance divided by total time. There is nothing called a total speed, I have told you. It is always average speed, not total speed. Okay. So total distance is how much? 10 plus 20. How do you calculate time? Total time. How do you calculate? Have they given total time? But for the first part of the journey, what all they have given? Distance and can we calculate the time taken? How do you calculate? For example, if I write this as T1 plus T2, how do you calculate? In the numerator, keep this 10 plus 20. In the denominator, distance is 10. You want T1, right? How do you get T1? D1 by S1? Distance by speed. So 10 divided by? Yes or no? Or you want me to calculate separately T1 and T2? We can do this method, right? No problem, right? Yeah. If you want, you can write T1 is equal to D1 by S1. That is 10 by 6. T2, D2 by S2. Distance 2 divided by speed 2. So that is 20 by 15. 20 by 15. Is that okay? Yeah. So here 20 by 15. Now what to do? Take the LCM. 15 and 6 LCM is how much? 30? Sure. Then 10 5s are 50. Then 22s are 40, and in the numerator it is 30. 10 plus 20 is 30. So again this 30 will go upside. 30 into 30 divide by 90. 0 0 get cancelled. 3 1s are 3 3s are 3 1s are 3 10s are. So the average speed for the entire journey is 10 km per hour. Yes? See, anyways, the earlier speed was 6 km per hour and the later speed was 15 km per hour. Your answer has to lie between 6 and 15 only. Is it logical? But not exactly 6 plus 15 by 2. This is the calculation. Done? No problem. Total D divided by total T. T is not given directly. You have T1 and T2. How to calculate T1 and T2? D1 by S1, D2 by S2. Is it okay? Can you imagine the situation? When you read the problem, there has to be some person who is going for 10 km with 6 km per hour, 20 km with 15 km per hour. You have to, like, for me, when I read this problem, I get a certain road. Like some road will come in front of me. And I can, like visualize that scene. Some person going at 6 km per hour and halting for a few minutes, then going for another part of the journey. Won't you get this scene? You are getting, right? So somewhere it is related to your childhood. Yes or no? Somewhere it is related to your childhood when you are very good at imagining the things. Now for us, most of the imaginations are the realities. Yes or no? But whenever you come across any sentence and you try to imagine or visualize, always those visualizations will go back to your childhood. Yes or no? Because for us, everything was an imagination. For us, everything was an imagination. Now, we have come forward from those imaginations because we have seen much realities now. For the people who had not seen ocean or sea, it was kind of full of water, blue thing. But for us, when we go to ocean now, it is more of beach, okay, more of waves, and it is not as blue as we had imagined. Yes or no? So that is how our visualization power is very powerful, very powerful. So take, the help of that one. Even while you are, like reading something, not just maths, any subject, when you are reading something, try to, like make a scene out of it. Try to make a scene out of it. Like create your own scene. If you create that scene, from that scene, again, you can create the sentences in the examination. Getting my point? So try to visualize certain things. And that visualization is your own imagination. And your visualization might be wrong. Technically, that might be wrong. But still, it will help you in the examination. Okay? Because you are the owner of your visualization. You are the master of your visualization. Nobody will check your visualization power. They only check the sentences there. To remember those sentences, you create some scenes and try to remember. Done this? Next. A covers half of his distance with 20 km per hour. Same thing. Half the distance, how much it is, we don't know. And the rest means another half, first half, second half. So now D is constant. First half and second half same, no? You don't have to go there and come back for the same distance. First half, that is, let's say D by 2. Second half, that might be D by 2. But take it as one distance only. Don't worry. Now can we calculate with that formula? Let us try. I'll give you the other way around also. So average speed is equal to, how to calculate? 2s1 s2 divided by s1 plus s2. So 2 s1 is how much? 20. And S2 is how much? 30. S1 plus S2? 50. 0, 0 gets cancelled. 5 ones are 5 4s are. 2 into 4 into 3. It appears like 20 and 30 will give us the average of 25. But it is not. It is not. I'll tell you like how this formula has exactly come to us. How this formula has come. Otherwise, how we would have find out the average speed? Total distance divided by total time. But do we have time here? No, they have given only speed. So how do I calculate? Let's say the first distance is d. First half is d. Second half, again d, correct? First half is d, second half is also d. And for time 1, here time 1, how do I calculate? D divided by S1 plus second half, d divided by, what are these? T1 and T2, right? Time 1 and time 2. Now, what will happen to this? Take the LCM. What it will be? S1 into S2 and here ds2 plus ds1 and in the top d plus d. So what it will be? Take d outside. So here you write d. Here you take d outside and what it will be? S1 plus S2 and in the denominator of that one S1 S2. So what will happen? What will happen? DD get cancelled. S1 S2 go upside. So this is 2 into S1 S2 divided by S1 plus S2. Instead of deriving it for 2 minutes, just remember one thing, that is average speed is equal to 2 S1 S2 divided by S1 plus S2. That's it. This we will do. You don't worry. But you trust on us. You keep trust on us that this is right. Okay, whatever that we give, like that is based upon certain proof like this. But every proof need not be shown to you. Otherwise, you will become expert and you will forget GS. Okay, you will go on deriving. Just take whatever that we are catering and apply in the examination. Done? Yeah. Is it tough to imagine? Is it tough to imagine? No, right? Yeah. This is the proof. You need not take it. I have told you. If you take it in the paper, I mean in your book, again you will get confused. Like every time you will think that this derivation is important and you will mug up this derivation. Don't do that. Just remember the formula. Yes? Next. Two persons, A and B, started from different places towards each other. Two persons, A and B, started towards each other from two different places. Towards each other. If the ratio of their speeds be 3:, who is more faster? B. Let us take A is traveling at 3 km per hour and B is traveling at 5 km per hour. Okay. Then what is the ratio of distance covered by A and B respectively, till the point of meeting? They have given what? Speeds. They are asking what? The ratio of distance. They are asking, they have given this, they are asking this. You imagine you and your friends have started from two different places towards each other. You are going at 3 km per hour and your friend is coming at 5 km per hour. By the time you reach or you meet at a point, both of you meet at a point, how much is the distance covered by you and your friend? What is the ratio? So how much is the ratio? Same, no? Because we have already taken that for the constant time, no? That means no matter what speeds they have, but until the time they meet each other, they are traveling for the same time? They are traveling for the same time? Yes or no? No matter what, they have started at same time and they are stopping at same time. Yes or no? So the time taken by them in each of the case is same, right? So if I take this D1, already they have given S1 is to S2 is equal to 3 is to 5. This is nothing but D1 by T is to D2 by T. T and T get cancelled, right? So here for the constant time, this is what I have told. For the constant time, the distance covered will be directly proportional to the what? Speeds. If the speeds are in the ratio 3 is to 5, even the distance covered by them will be in what? In the ratio 3 is to 5. Is it difficult? No, right? Only one confusing thing is, like they are meeting each other at a point. You will feel like both of them have covered the same distance. No. They have traveled for same time. But according to their speeds, they have covered different distances. Their speeds are in the ratio 3 is to 5. That is why, like their distances covered will be in the ratio 3 is to 5. Because they are traveling for the constant time. They are traveling for the constant time. Done? Show something. Something. Next. A postman goes with a speed of 36 km per hour. What is the speed of postman in meter per second? See, this is very important. This is very basic question actually. Very basic question. In the examination, always the distance will not be given in kilometer and the time is not given in hour. They can give it in meter, that is the distance they can give it in meter, and the time they can give it in seconds or minutes also sometimes, but minutes is very rare. Most common thing is kilometer and hour, and less common is meter and second, but minute is very rare. Minute is very rare. So in many occasions we get an opportunity to convert kilometer per hour into meter per second. So let us find out what is 1 kilometer per hour. What is 1 kilometer per hour? This means what? 1 kilometer divided by 1 hour. Correct? 1 kilometer is how many meters? And 1 hour is how many seconds? 60 or 3600? 3600. 0000 get cancelled. This is 10 by 36 meter per second, or can I write this as 1 by 3.6 meter per second? So what does this mean? 1 kilometer per hour is equal to 1 by 3.6 meter per second, or if you want to convert meter per second into kilometer per hour, 1 meter per second is equal to 3.6 kilometer per hour. Now tell me, among these units, meter per second and kilometer per hour, which is the stronger unit? Which is stronger unit? Which is stronger? Meter per second. Because 1 meter per second is equal to 3.6 kilometer per hour. Just imagine 10 meter per second would be 36 kilometer per hour. Yes or no? 1 meter per second is equal to 3.6 kilometer per hour, or 10 meter per second is equal to 36 kilometer. So whenever in the problems they are expressing like more speed, especially with respect to the speed of the aeroplane or speed of the jets, speed of the rockets and all, they give in meter per second. They give in meter per second. Fine? Okay. 100 meter per second is equal to 360 kilometer per hour. Imagine. 100 meter per second is equal to 360 kilometer per hour. Yes, meter per second is more stronger. So for higher speeds especially, they give in meter per seconds. Or sometimes they will go for what? Mach. We have seen what is Mach, no? What is Mach? Speed of sound. Speed of sound, yes. Then beyond that, if you want to express, we go for supersonic and hypersonic. Yes. Then we have other speeds in geography like what? Knots. K-knot is what? Nautical miles per second. Yes or no? Yes. Nautical miles per second. Correct? No? Yeah? Yeah. Fine. So depending upon the speed, we express in different units. But for our problems, kilometer per hour and meter per second are two important units. We will just interchange these units. That's it. Okay. Understood? So whenever they have given in meter per second, to convert it into kilometer per hour, we have to multiply by 3.6. And whenever they have given the speed in kilometer per hour, we have to divide by 3.6 to get the speed in meter per second. Done? Okay. Fine. So what is the answer here? Okay. Done? A is twice as fast as B. B is thrice as fast as C. Who is the fastest? Yes. Yes. Who is the slowest? Sure. No issues. Okay, just tell me. See, C is the slowest, you told, right? So imagine C is going at 1 kilometer per hour. Let us imagine here A, here B, and here C. So let us take their speeds. Okay, let us take their speeds. If C goes at 1 kilometer per hour, because he is the slowest, right? We can express others in terms of C. Yes or no? If C goes at 1 kilometer per hour, what will be the speed of B? 3 kilometer per hour. What about A's speed? So what is the ratio of their speeds? These are what? Speeds, right? These are speeds. And they are asking the journey covered by C in 78 minutes. In some journey, the time taken by C. Time taken by C is how much? 78 minutes. They are asking the same distance would be covered by A in how many minutes? C is taking how much time? 78 minutes. Compared to the speed of C, how much is the speed of A? 6 times. And speed and time will be inversely proportional. If A is more faster means A will take the least time. How much least? 6 times less. Yes? So what we have to do? Simple. Understood, no? So here the concept is what? Speed and time are inversely proportional. They are not asking about B. Let us not worry about B. Yes. Is that okay? Yes. So when their speeds are in the ratio 6:3:1, if you want to convert them into the ratio of times, what you will do? These are the speeds. You will take certain distance. You will do what? D by 6, D by 3, and D by 1. D will get cancelled. It will become what? So these are the ratios of the time taken by them. So what we are doing for C? We are dividing by 1. For A, we have to divide by 6. Yes. So if you want to calculate their ratios of the time taken, then take the LCM. It will be 6. Then here 1, here 2, here 6. So finally, the ratio of the time taken by them is 1:2:6. Don't reverse this, okay? When their speeds are in the ratio 6:3:1, don't reverse them. Don't tell that their time taken are in the ratio 1:3:6. It is 1:2:6. Because we are taking distance and dividing it by the time. Taking distance and dividing it by speed either. Okay, fine. Understood? Just you have to know D is equal to S into T. That's it. In different cases, take D1, S1, T1, D2, S2, T2. Wherever possible, substitute. Wherever common factors are there, cut it. You will get the ratio. Yes. So here, speeds were in the ratio 6:3:1. So that is why A is 6 times faster. So A will take 6 times lesser. A will take 6 times lesser than C. So 78 divided by 6 would be 13. So he will take 13 minutes to cover the same distance. What about B? B will take how much time? 26 or 39? Very good. 26. Good. Done? Yeah. A certain distance. We don't know the distance. He is covered at certain speed. Very good. We don't know distance. We don't know speed. If half of this distance is covered in double the time, the ratio of two speeds. Hold on. Here there are two cases. First, normal distance, normal speed. We have to calculate the time. Then second time, half the distance, double the time. So in case 1, I'll take D, T and S. Distance, speed, distance, time and speed. So case 2. Distance is becoming what? Time is becoming? So in first case, how do you calculate the speed? Speed is equal to D by T, right? Yes or no? This is speed 1. What about speed 2? D by 2 divided by 2T. So this is what? D divided by 2 into 2T. This is equal to D by 4T. But what is D by T? S1, right? So this is 1 by 4 S1. Yes. So S2 is equal to S1 by 4. But what they want? Ratio of two speeds. When they say ratio of two speeds, always your reading of the ratio should be from S1 to S2, not S2 to S1. Be careful. Your method might be correct until the last step, But if you take S2 is to S1, the whole problem is wrong. So S1 is to S2. So how do you calculate S1 is to S2? Bring S2 this side. It will be, but can you tell the ratio as just 4? S1 is to S2 is equal to, if in the answer 1 is to 4 was there, or now 2 is to 8 is there, people would mark this one. At least 30 to 40% people will mark this one, because in hurry, what they will do, instead of S1 by S2, they will take S2 by S1 and they will mark 1 is to 4. That would be wrong. Understood? Simple. Case 1, normal distance, normal time. Speed is d by t. Case 2, distance is halved. Then time is doubled. Then you have aram time, no? When distance is half, you have double the time. You can go with slower speed, no? So definitely S2 has to be lesser than S1. That is what we have proved. S2 is 1/4 of S1. So finally, S1 is to S2 is equal to 4 is to 1. Done? Actually, this is oral problem, okay? Half the distance, double the time. You have luxury, no? So it is just like what? The tortoise and rabbit, this thing. Yeah, rabbit pursues. Only this much is left and have lot of time. So it can go at very slower speed. So how much slower speed? 1/4 of the earlier speed. That's it. Yes? Next. Two runners start running together for a distance. I don't know the distance. One at 8 km per hour and another at 5 km per hour. The former arrives 1.5 hours before the latter. It is logical, right? First one is running at higher speed. So he'll arrive at the destination before the slower person. Yes. So in such case, take distance is how much? D only, right? For both the persons? Yes or no? For both the persons, distance is same. For the first person. So this is for first person, distance is same. And second person also? Second person also? Distance is same. What about speeds? Speed 8. And for the second person? What is the time taken by the first person? D is distance. 8 is what? Speed. What will be the time taken? Yes or no? This is speed 1, okay? So T1 is equal to D by 8. This is the time taken by the first person. What about time taken by second person? D by? Yes or no? You are comfortable, right? Yeah. Now what they are telling, the former arrives 1.5 hours before the latter. So former is taking lesser time. So you can write D by 8 is lesser than D by 5. By how much? 1.5 hours. So can I write 3 by 2? Fine. Is it logical? This is for the first person and this is for the second person. The distance is same. Speeds are different. 8 and 5. Time taken. D by 8 and D by 5. Definitely this will be lesser. By how much? D8 is lesser than D5 by 3 by 2. Now we want D, right? Shift all the terms of D to the left hand side. D by 8 minus D by 5 is equal to 3 by 2. What is the LCM? 40. I'm sorry. It's gone wrong. So it has to be actually D by 8 will come this side, 3 by 2 will come this side. So 8d minus 5d is equal to 3 by 2. So 3d by 40 is equal to 3 by 2. 3 get cancelled. So d is equal to 40 by 2 or d is equal to 20. So d is equal to 20 kilometers. Yes. Now cross verify. Distance is 20 kilometers. First person is going at the speed of 8 kilometers per hour. See, you have 20 kilometers to cover and you are going with 8 kilometers per hour. So what will be the time required to cover those 20 kilometers? What is the time required? "20 kilometers you have to cover and you are going with 8 kilometers per hour. 2.5, okay, no. Second person, slower person is taking 4 hours, no? 20 by 5, 4. 2.5 the first person, second person 5. What is the difference? Two and a half and 4. 1.5, no, that is what they have given, right? 3 by 2 or 1.5 hours. Yes? Yes or no? 4 minus 2.5 is 1.5. Correct? No. This is cross verification. It is not second problem. This is cross verification. Whether our answer is right or not, we have to check like this. Yes? A minibus takes 6 hours less to cover 1680 kilometer distance if its speed increased by 14 kilometer per hour. Don't worry about this number, okay? 1680, don't worry. A minibus used to cover certain distance in certain time. If it increases its speed by 14 kilometer per hour, it will take less time, no? Yes or no? So how much less it is taking? Logical, right? If the bus increases its speed, it will take lesser time. So in the first case, d is equal to s into t. Do we know the speed and the time of the bus? Do we know speed and time of the bus? We don't know, but we know the value of s and t. I mean, product of s and t. That is, because d is equal to 1680, right? Yes or no? Speed into time is equal to 1680. In the second case, what is happening? Speed is increasing by. So can I write s plus 14? Can I write s plus 14? Yes. Second, what about t? What is happening to t? It is decreasing by 6 kilometers per hour. 6 hours. What about the product of these two? S1, s plus 14 and t minus 6. Same, no? How much is that? 1680. How many equations we have? How many? 2. The value of d only is this. Don't worry about this. S and t is equal to 1680. S plus 14 into t minus 6 is equal to 1680. How many equations? How many variables? Can we solve? But it is not as easy as we think. It is not as easy as we think. Here, see, when we have the equations like s plus t is equal to something, let's say 2s plus 3t is equal to something, we can do the cancellation method and do it. But here, s into t, s plus 14 into t plus x, it is not that easy. But we can solve it by substitution method. What we want at the end? So we have to discard S. Wherever S is there, try to replace S in terms of T. So here, can I write S is equal to 1680 divided by T? Can I write? So substitute this here. Substitute this here. So what will happen? So substitute value of S here. So 1680 divided by T plus 14 into T minus 6 is equal to 1680. Now the equation is in one variable, T. Can we solve for T? Take courage and solve. It needs a lot of courage. Because this 1680 is so intimidating. It makes us fearful, right? This much big number. And T is in the denominator. So definitely we'll get what? We'll get one quadratic equation. So make the LCM as T. Here 1680 plus 14T into T minus 6 is equal to 1680. T will come to the right hand side. T will come to the right hand side. So this will become 1680 plus 14T into T minus 6 is equal to 1680. Now see, 1680 into T. Actually this 1680 into T will get cancelled with this, right? 1680 T plus you will write. So I will not write this again. 1680 T. So what I'll write? 1680 into minus 6. 1680 into minus 6. So how much it will be? 6 8s are 48. Then yes, 10,080 plus 14T square. You know the law of multiplication, right? Take each term and multiply with other two terms. Then minus 84T is equal to 0. Now, out of all these terms, 14 is common. Take out 14. Take out 14. So, I'll write 14T square first. So, 14T square divided by 14 would be T square plus minus 84T. Instead of 84T, I'll divide by 14. It will become 60 plus 10,080 divided by 14. 14 sevens are 98. Then 28 will be remaining. 14 twos are then 0 is equal to 0. So final equation is T square minus 60 plus 720. I know this is difficult. I know this is difficult. But if you can solve this problem, you can dare any other problem. Okay? Yeah? So now we have to split this and the product has to be this. 6 is a very small number. 720 is a big number. We are looking for those numbers which would give us the difference around 6. Which would give us the difference around 6 and will give the product around 720. In such cases, always go towards the square root of this bigger number. What is the nearest square root of this bigger number? If you take 625, 25, somewhere close to, look for the numbers which are close to 25 and which can divide 720. 24 can divide. So if 24 divides 720, quotient would be 30. So 24 and 30 are the numbers. 24 and 30 are the numbers. Okay. Here you will write T square minus 30T plus 24t plus, I think it has to turn minus. Yeah, here minus. Minus 720 is equal to 0. Here your answer is done. I've told you not to go further. When you split this term, middle term, your answer is done. T is equal to, that's it. Don't go for 24 at all. T is equal to 30. See, only because of this bigger number, 1680, we are struggling. That's it. Because of this bigger number, 1680. Otherwise, the problem is very simple. Only these steps, these 4 steps will scare us because of this 1680. When we have got rid of that 1680, see how simple is it? Yes. So now what is the scene? The earlier the bus used to take how many hours? How many hours? You have got 30 hours. Earlier it used to take 30 hours. Now it is taking 6 hours less, 24 hours. Done? Because the speed has been varying. Speed is increased by 14 km per hour. Yes? Yeah? Done? Only these steps are scaring. My job is over here only. My job is over here only. I have got you one equation with one variable. My job is over. This is your headache. It is all basic algebra. Basic algebra, how do you get the quadratic equation and how do you solve quadratic equation? That's it. And I have told you not to go any further. Simple. Split this term. Whatever that is there in the minus, take that coefficient and write as the answer. That's it. Okay? Even after all these things, if you feel like you can't do this problem, don't do it. Okay? But don't give a, like scary look for me. Yeah? Okay? This is not my problem. This has to be your problem. This minibus is yours, not mine. You are a driver of that. Yeah? Next. This is a special case. I'll come back to this problem later. And this problem is also depending upon the previous problem. Now, this is very beautiful question and this question had come in the examination. The wheel of an engine 300 centimeter in circumference. Don't tell me that, sir, I don't know geometry. I will not solve this problem. Simple. What do you mean by circumference? It is a perimeter of a circle. If you start measuring this one from here, you will keep thread on this periphery and you will see how much is the, or let's say this is a wheel. This is a wheel. That is what they have given now. Wheel. You mark with some paint here. When you roll this wheel on the road, let's say the paint has come here and the second paint will come here. So this is nothing but that circumference. Yes or no? Logical, right? Have you experimented this in childhood? When your wheel has crossed in some, like water, every time that, like the watermark will come on the road. Yes or no? Or something, like which has touched your wheel. So that will get repeated and the distance is what? The circumference itself. Circumference. Yes. So what is the circumference here? So this distance covered by the wheel in one revolution is 300 centimeter. Yes. And how much it is taking? And how many revolutions it is making? 10 revolution. 10 such revolutions will give us the distance what? 300 centimeter into 10. So that is what? 3000 In how many seconds? 6 seconds. Now, it is given in centimeters. We know meter per second. Yes? So, we have to convert centimeter into meter. How many centimeters are equal to 1 meter? I want to hear that 1000 or 10. No, good. So, 100 centimeters. So, 3000 centimeter will make. Now I had got 300. Many people told 300. 3000 divided by 100 is what? 30 meters, right? Yes. So, divide by. So, 5 meter per second. But the answers are given in what? Kilometer per hour. How do you convert this 5 meter per second into kilometer per hour? Multiply by 3.6. This is 18 kilometer per hour. Done? Small things. In the examination hall, if you scratch your mind like how many centimeter equal to meter, then it is not just about losing this problem. You will lose confidence also. Centimeter to meter, I am not able to convert. What has happened to me? I was school topper. Okay, I was college topper. I am university gold medalist. What has happened to me? My star, what? System is not good. Okay, this year, Shani, nothing. You have not practiced, that's it. Shani, Guru, Shukra, all, they will be there. They'll help in one or the other way. But when you are not ready, they will not help. Even if you are undergoing Shukra, they say, if you are not getting this problem, there's no use. Yes or no? Yeah. A man takes 4 hours 20 minutes, I'm sorry, 20 minutes in walking to a certain place and riding back. Walking means with foot. Riding means on the back of something. On the back of something, maybe horse, maybe a bike, or maybe cycle. These are ridings on the back of something. Yeah. Driving is what? Behind the steering or behind the wheel. Yeah. So these are different words: walking, riding, and driving. So people generally, like mistake with this word. I was driving my bike. No, that is wrong. You ride your bike. Yeah. You drive your car. Okay. So riding. So what is this man doing? He is starting from this place and he is walking. He is walking towards destination and he is returning back riding. One way he is walking and other way he is riding. And totally, how much he will take? So, one way walking plus one way riding, the time taken is how much? 4 hours and 20 minutes. Right? If he walks on both sides, he loses 1 hour. That means he takes more or he takes less. Losing time means you are taking more time. So earlier he used to take how much time? 4 hours 20 minutes, and now he is taking. Very good. So what he is doing now? He is walking both the sides. He is walking both the sides. So two-way walking is how much? 5 hours and 20 minutes. Now they are asking the time he would take by riding both the ways. Earlier, one way walking, one way riding. Second, both way walking. Now, both way riding. So what we want? Looks very simple but very confusing. He will gain 1 hour. Compared to this, This has lost 1 hour, right? So compared to this, what will so what should be the answer? Simple, no? See, one way walking, one way riding, you understood that this person is taking 4 hours 20 minutes. You thought like you will walk both the ways. Then you sensed you have taken 1 more hour. That means what? The difference between the time taken for riding and the walking is 1 hour. When you are riding both the ways, you are saving 2 hours compared to both way walking. Yes or no? Both minutes, you are saving 2 hours by riding both the ways. So it will be 3 hours 20 minutes. Done? Looks very simple. But when your star system is not in favor and you are in a very bad mood, this will not go into the head. You will keep on, like riding and walking. You will keep on riding and walking, and this one will not flash to your mind. Here, simple thing is what? The time taken for riding is more than time taken for walking. That's it. One way, 1 hour he is saving. 2 ways, 2 hours he will save. That's it. Done? A man travels the first part of his journey at 20 km per hour and the next at 70 km per hour part, okay? They are not mentioning that they are equal. First part at 20 km per hour and second part at 70 km per hour, covering the entire journey at an average speed of 50 km per hour. What they have given? First average speed, that is equal to 50 km per hour, and they have given S1 20 km per hour, S2 70 km per hour, but mind you, here the distance are not same. Distance are not same. Yes? Now, what is the ratio of distance that he covered at 20 km per hour to that he covered in 70 km per hour? Simple. With this speed, let us assume that he has covered D1. With this speed, let us assume that he has covered D2. Done? So now can we try to find the answer? How do we find out the average speed? Anyways, you know to which has to be applied here. 2S1 S2 divided by S1 plus S2. When do we apply that? When constant distance. Do we know the distance here? D1, that is why I have taken D1 and D2. No. D1 and D2 are not same here. If they were same, problem would have been very easier for us. Yes? So, the part of the distance are not same. So, we have to take the total distance divided by what is the total distance? What is the total distance? Starting of the problem, it will be unknown. When we assume the variables, we have to take those variables for calculation. Yes? So, D1 plus D2. What about speed 1? Sorry, I'm sorry, total T. I'm sorry. So, T1 plus T2. So, D1 plus D2 divided by T1 plus T2. D1 and D2 are what? D1 divided by S1, correct? and D2 divided by S2. Yes or no? Now, what do we know? D1 plus D2, we don't know. But average speed, do we know? This average speed, do we know? What is that? Is equal to D1 plus D2, right, like that. Then here, D1 divided by 20 plus D2 divided by 70, no? Now, in this equation, we have two variables, but they are asking us what? Ratios, right? Two variables and one equation. We can find the ratio, not a problem. If they want exact D1 and D2, we can't get. But if they are asking us the ratio, we can get. Okay? So here, take the LCM. Here D1 plus D2. LCM is 1400. Or just write 70 into 20, okay? Actually, the answer should be 700. That's okay. Take 20 into 70. Here, 70 D1 plus 20 D2. This 1400 has to go upside. Yeah? So it will be equal to 50 is equal to 1400 D1 plus D2 divided by 70 D1 plus 20 D2. 0, 0 get cancelled. 5 ones are, 5 28s are. So bring this term to the left hand side. 70 D1 plus 20 D2 is equal to 28 D1 plus 28 D2. Bring D1 to one hand side, that is left hand side. 70 D1 minus 70 D1 minus 28 D1 is equal to 42 D1 is equal to 28 minus 20, 8 D2. D1 by D2 is equal to 8 by 42, or it is equal to 4 by 21. D1 by D2 is equal to 4 by 21. Do we have this answer? Yes. 4 by 21. Only thing, like, since D1 and D2 are there in one equation, to get the ratio, we have to undergo these many steps. But your operations in the basic arithmetic has to be proper. If you say, sir, I had learned this in 10th standard, after that that is not my problem. That's your problem. Okay? Social science and all, when we have learned? After school we have not learned, no? Unless you are from arts background. Yes, we are learning now, right? We knew, like there are 5 types of rights only, fundamental rights. Now we go to each and every right and go deeper, right? So that is what it is. Yes? So D1 by D2 is equal to 4 is to 21. We have answer? Yes. Next. X, Y and Z are 3 contestants in race of 1000 meters. I'll come to this. Let us see other. I'll come to those race problems at the last. A freight train, freight means goods, no? Yeah. It is opposite of passenger. Yes. Freight train left Delhi for Mumbai at an average speed of 40 km per hour. From Delhi towards Mumbai, one train has left, that is a freight train. 40 km per hour. 2 hours later, an express train left Delhi for Mumbai. So 2 hours later. So what is happening to the first train by then? Its speed is 40 km per hour. In 2 hours, the first train has covered 80 kilometers and it has spent 2 hours. Yes. At that point of time, another train is starting from here. Now this train is here. This is the freight train and the express train is here now. Yes? Okay or not? Yeah. Following the freight train on a parallel track at an average speed of 60 km per hour. The speed of this train is 40 km per hour and speed of this train is 60 km per hour. How far from Delhi would the express train meet the freight train? How far from Delhi the express train meets freight train? This is slower train, but it is ahead. So somewhere in between, they will catch up. Somewhere in between, they will catch up. They have not given the distance between Mumbai and Delhi. By the time this covers this much, it would cover this much because this is faster. So let us take, they will meet here before Mumbai. They will meet here. And they are asking what? How far from Delhi this express train, how far from Delhi it will reach. So we want this one to be found out. So I'll take this as D. Yes. If this is D, what about this? When it is starting here, express train, freight train is here. It has to cover only this much distance. Yes or no? So what is the distance that has to be covered by freight train? Logical. Now we have two distances and two what? Speeds. And see, the time taken by freight train from this point to this point is equal to the time taken by express train from this point to this point. Yes. So time is same for them. So can we take the freight train's distance, that is D minus 80, and it is covering with the speed of 40 km per hour. This is nothing but the time taken by the freight train. Similarly, time taken by the passenger or this express train is D by 60 and both are equal. See, construction of the diagram and the understanding of it is very important. If you keep on staring on these fellows, you will not get anything. You have to construct the equation. Yes or no? Yes. So here what I have taken with my knowledge of the first train, that is freight train, which has traveled for 2 hours with 40 km per hour, it has covered certain distance. By then, the second train is starting. But second train is faster because it is traveling at 60 km per hour. Definitely, this second train will catch up the first train at some place. Yes. But at what distance they are asking? That is the distance between, the Delhi and where exactly it is catching the first train. So let us take that as D. But the freight train has already covered 80 kilometers. The distance that has to be covered by the freight train is D minus 80. We know the distance of both the trains now and we have the speeds of them. We can get the time. But that time is same because they are going to travel for the same time unless the second train catches the first train. Understood this? Yes. So, solve for this. We want D. Cross multiplication. 60D minus 4,800 is equal to 40D. Bring 40D this side. 60D minus 40D is 20D is equal to 4,800. D is equal to 240. D is equal to 240. So 240 kilometers away from Delhi, the second train will catch the first train. By the time it reaches 240 kilometers, the second train is going at 60 kilometers per hour. It will take 4 hours, right? What about the first train? It has to travel 80 kilometers less compared to the second train. So it will travel only 160 kilometers, but it will travel with 40 kilometers per hour. So 160 divided by 40, 4 hours. Done? See, constructing the equation is very important. In any case, especially in time, speed and distance, constructing the equation is very important. Always in such problems, they will be giving two cases. Two cases means, for one case, time, speed and distance. For the second case, time, speed and distance, there will be some relation between the case 1 and case 2. Either distance will be same, time will be same, or the sum of the distance will be something, or sum of the time will be something. They'll give that. So case 1 and case 2 can be combined with equations. When we combine the case 1 and case 2 with the equations, you will either get two equations in two variables or one equation in one variable. There gets the problem solved. Yes? Next. Looks very scary, but such bigger problems are very simple, because they would have given all the information to you. Nothing is hidden here. A person X from place A, person X from place A, let us take this as A and this as B, and the X is starting from here and the Y is starting from here. Person Y from place B set out at the same time to walk towards each other. The places are separated by a distance of 15 kilometers. So the difference is 15 kilometers here. Okay. X walks with a uniform speed of 1.5 kilometers per hour. X walks with uniform speed of 1.5 kilometers per hour. What does that mean? 1.5 in the first hour, 1.5 in the second hour, 1.5 in the third hour. Yes? Is it correct? But the second, Y walks with uniform speed of 1 kilometer per hour in the first hour, with uniform speed of 1.25 kilometers in the second hour, and with uniform speed of 1.5 kilometers in the third hour, and so on. He is starting with 1 kilometer per hour, but every hour he is increasing his speed by 0.25 kilometers. Let us take in the first hour. What is the distance covered by this fellow? 1 point. What about this fellow? 1. In the second hour, what about this fellow? What about this fellow? This fellow? This fellow? Now, this fellow? This fellow? This fellow? Like this. But you should be mindful of making them meet. You should not go on like this for 10 iterations. First iteration, 1.5 and 1. What is the total distance covered by them? 2.5. Second iterations, he has covered 3, he has covered 2.25. Like that you go. Where you will stop? You will stop here. Yes or no? 1.5 plus 1, 2.5, plus 2.75, it will be 5.25, plus 3, 8.25, plus 1.5, that will be 9.75, plus 1.75, that is 11 and a half. 1.5, that is 13 plus 2. See, this is what? 1.5 into 5 times, right? This is what? The sum of the arithmetic progression. Isn't it arithmetic progression? 1, 1.25, 1.5, 1.75, 2. What is the common difference here? 0.25. Can I call this also as arithmetic progression? But if you go by mathematical sense, common difference, 0. Has somebody told me that common difference should not be equal to 0? We can treat them, but let us not. This is the same. And there is no formula to, calculate all these things. You have to do it practically. Where to stop? Again, that has to be decided practically only. There is no, certain formula to end the iterations. Okay, now tell me which of the following are correct. They take 5 hours to meet. How many hours they have taken? First fellow has walked for 5 hours, no? 1.5, 1.5, these are the speeds. Second fellow also 5 hours. So first one is right. They meet midway between A and B. That means what? Both of them have to cover 7.5 kilometers each. Midway means what? 7.5 kilometers, no? Yes, from both the ends. So how much distance is covered by him? 7.5. Remaining distance is covered by whom? Why? Don't count all these things, okay? When you get 7.5 here, this fellow also has covered 15 minus 7.5. Yes or no? So second statement, they meet midway between A and B. Very beautiful question. This is to do with your practical approach. Are we applying any theory here? D is equal to S into T, have we applied? No, right? Just practically. First hour 1.5 kilometers, this fellow, that fellow 1 kilometer. Like that we have calculated. So answer is both 1 and 2. Next question. A car travels from place X to place Y at an average speed of V km per hour. From place X to Y, what is the speed? V km per hour. And from Y to X, speed? This is just like our Bangalore-Mysore problem. Same distance. First I went with what speed? 50 km per hour. While coming back, 30 km per hour. Do you remember this? Just like 1.5 hours before, I had taken this example. Yes or no? While going 50 km per hour, while coming back 30 km per hour. But how do we calculate the average? 2 S1, S2 divided by S1 plus S2? Same distance, no? Yes or no? Yeah? But here they are not ending. What they are doing? They are going for one more time. Again from X to Y. What is the speed? At the last. They are asking the average. Don't tell me, sir, add all of them and divide by 4. That will be wrong. I have told you, this is harmonic mean. This is not the normal mean. Because speed is a derived entity, not the direct entity. It is a derived entity. Okay, how do you calculate the average? I have told you, these are in harmonic progression. So you have to take the values of 1 by V, 1 by 2V, 1 by 3V, and 1 by 4V, and take the average now. Add all of them. Divide by 4. Now, what is the LCM of the above expression? V, 2V, 3V, 4V. Don't take it as V, 1V. This is 1V. Sure? 12 what? V. So here 12 will come. Here 6 will come. Here 4 will come. Here 3 will come. And again divide by 4. So this 12 will come down. So this will be what? 12 plus 6 plus 4 plus 3 is how much? 25. Divide by 12 into 4. 48 V. Now, we have to take the reciprocal of this. Because we had taken the reciprocals, right? Just like our time and work, 1 by A, 1 by B, 1 by C. After the calculation, again you take the reciprocal, right? Like that, we have to take the reciprocal. This is 48V divided by 25. This is the average speed. So, average speed is around 25 2s are 50, no? So, it is lesser than 2V? More than 1V? Less than 2V? Yes or no? So, basically this is one integer 23 by 25V, that is between 1V and 2V. So, what should be the answer here? It is between V and 2V. Yes, this is the toughest problem that is possible, because unless you know the essence of harmonic average, harmonic mean, you can't get the answer of this one. Okay, so what you will do then? You will make the sum of all these things. You will get 10V divided by 4. You will mark this one. That's wrong. That is why I have told you, average speed calculation is not simple. It is not simple average. It is not arithmetic mean. It is harmonic mean. Whatever the speeds they have given, take the reciprocal of them, then take the average, then again do the reciprocation. Okay? You don't have to remember that 2S1, S2 divided by S1 plus S2, because that will be applicable for only 2 speeds. If the speeds are more than 2, what you have to take? Take all the speeds in the reciprocal, then take the average, again do the reciprocation. You will get the answer. Done? See, I was surprised by looking at this question in the examination. Okay, but such questions will be there. I have told you, out of 30 to 35 questions in the examination from quantitative aptitude, 10 to 12 will be very easy. It can be solved by anyone. 10 to 12 problems can be solved with a fair practice. If you have practiced enough, that too, moderate level, you can solve. Other 10 to 12 will be tougher even for the experts. That is not our cup of coffee. Yes or no? We don't want them. The first 10 to 12, if you get, you will get 25 to 30 marks in your kitty. Second 10 to 12, even if you solve 5 to 6 out of them, you will get around 15 marks. So 45 marks are already done. Then you will have to depend upon logical reasoning. I'll bet you, logical reasoning, everyone will get the right answer. Most of them. If your brain is working normally at that point of time, okay, out of 12 to 15 questions from the logical reasoning, you will get 7 to 8 right. 15 to 20 marks in logical reasoning is not a problem. So here, if you take, already your score is coming around 60. Reading comprehension, even if you pick up very easy reading comprehensions and solve, you will get fair amount of this one. Let's say you have solved only 8 questions rightly, without any risk, you will get 20. Already you have passed. But the mistake, 80% of the people, they depend upon RC. And I have told you yesterday, how will be your mindset on the day of examination, how will be the circumstances around. Okay, even in Bangalore, like now the temperature is increasing. Now in the month of May and June, it will be crossing 40. Take it for granted. Write it somewhere. Whenever you attempt, even in Bangalore, the outside temperature will be more than 40, especially in the afternoon. And UPSC is having a worst practice of giving you the far-flung places as the centers. They will not give at the core of the cities. You will go to such areas where no restaurant will be open and already the trees in the areas are cut. You will not get even shade. That is why people will look for malls. At least AC will be there, right? They will sit inside AC. I mean, like inside the mall. Or few people will book tickets for movies for those 2 hours. And they will go, sit and come back. And in between that gap, that is 12:30 to 2:30, you have to have proper food. You have to have at least 20 to 30 minutes of nap, power nap. Otherwise, your mind will not be fresh. At least close your eyes for 20 minutes. Don't open them. Give rest to your eyes. And in the previous night, as I have told you, you will not get the sleep. Close your eyes for 6 hours. Don't open them. Let the sounds come from outside. Somebody is shouting, some vehicles are passing, somebody is playing the music, somebody is shouting. You hear them, but close your eyes for 6 hours. At least you will get that rest for your brain. Understand? This is what we have done throughout our this thing. You will not get sleep, but close your eyes for 6 hours. Don't open them, no matter what. Okay? Fine? So these tips I'll be giving you. So the next few problems which I have told as they are tougher, in a kilometer race, that is 1000-meter race, A can give B a start of 20 meters. A can give B. So A is gifting something to B. A is gifting something to B. What does that mean? A is gifting 20 meters for B. What do you understand by that? A is allowing B to start the race from 20 meters ahead. Yes? Is that fine? See, this is one more way of concept, one more concept in the problems associated with athletics. Okay, head start. This is called as head start. That means A is giving a head start of 20 meters to B. That means B can start the race 20 meters ahead of B. And here the concept is what? When he is giving that head start, they will finish the race together. Getting my point? They will finish the race together. This has to be understood. Otherwise, A would win the race, right? Why A is gifting 20 meters to B? Because A knows that he is faster than B and he can beat B by 20 meters. Yes? Same thing, no. While A is running 1000 meters, B would have covered how many meters? When A is giving 20 meters head start, so the actual distance covered by B will be how much? 980 meters. When A is covering 1000 meters, B would be covering 980 meters. That is the understanding of it. Yes? So when A covers 1000 meters, B would cover. So what is the ratio of speeds of them? Same thing, no? Distance ratio is this. So even the speed ratio will be this only. Okay. Also in a half kilometer race, C beats A by 50 meters. Who is faster here? C. Overall, among A, B, C, who is the fastest? C. Correct? So when C beats A by 50 meters, here C is not giving the head start, but he is beating A by 50 meters. That means when C covers 500 meters, what will be the distance covered by A? Very good. Distance covered by A will be 450. Making sense? Yes. Now, if ABC run a 2-kilometer race, who will be the winner? Sure. So when C finishes 2000 meters, anyways, we have one idea here. When C finishes 2000 meters, what will be the distance covered by A? This is 4 times. So here, if you write 4 times, so this will be 1800. Now they are asking, what is the difference between the distances covered by the 2 losers? C is the winner. Who are the losers? A and B. Among A and B, who is the last? B, right? So they are asking, what is the difference among them? Getting my point? When C covers 2000 meters, A will be covering 1800 meters. And what about B? He'll be covering even less. But how much? See, you treat only A and B now. When A covers 1000 meters, B is covering 980 meters. How much percentage less? When A is covering 1000 meters, B is covering 980 meters. So how many meters less? 20 meter less. So for 1000 meters, 20 meter less. For 100 meter, 2 meters less, no? Yes. For 1000 meters, 20 meters less. For 100 meters, 2 meter less. For 1800 meters, for 100 meters, 2 meters. For 1800 meters, 18 times, no? 36 meter less. So 1800 minus 36, if we do, we'll get. Otherwise, you can calculate 100,000 here, 980 here, and 1800 here. And what is this? You can calculate this. I don't have a problem. But I am giving you one more shortcut. Yeah. So B will be covering 2% less. So here also B will be covering 2% less. 2% of 1800 is 36. So B will be covering 36 meter less than A. What they are asking? What is the difference between the 2 losers? 36 meter, no? Yes, yes. This is one of the toughest problem. But when you write this in the ratio, problem is done. First case, they have given the difference between A and B. For 1000 meter, the difference is 20. So B will be covering 980. In the second case, they have given the comparison between C and A. For 500 meters of C, A will run 450 meters. Finally, they are making them run for 2000 meters. When C covers 2000 meters, A would cover 1800 meters. The relation between A and B, B will cover 2% less than A. So B will cover 36 meter less than A. So the answer is what? Difference between 2 losers is 36 meters. If you have not understood, go back to your room, sit with this problem for 5 to 10 minutes, you will understand. Here one more concept is head start. Rather than beating by distance, you are allowing other person to start at some distance. That is one more way of winning. Okay, rather than beating by the distance at the end, you are allowing that person to start the race with a head start of few meters. Done? Similar case in the above question. If B and C run half kilometer race, if B and C run half kilometer race, who is the winner? Who is the fastest among B and C? C. So if C covers half kilometers, how much will be covered by B? That should be seen. Who should give start to the slower runner? So definitely C will give the start to the B of how many meters? So go to the previous calculation. When C was covering 2000 and A was covering 1800, how much was covered by B? Less this one, 1764. This is the ratio between B and C. If B covers 1764, C would cover 2000. So what is the relation between this and this? This divided by 4 is equal to 500, no? Yes. So now this divided by 4 you do. So by the time C covers 500 meters, so what will be the distance covered by B? 1764 divided by 4. 4 fours are, then 4 fours are, then 4 ones are. 441 kilometers will be covered by, 441 meters will be covered by B. So when C covers 500 meters, B would cover 441. So how much head start should C give to B? Who should give start? So C should give start to B by 59 meters. Difference is 59 meters, no? This is the rarest question, okay? I don't expect in CSAT. Rarest question, but you should have the fair idea about head start. Done? Yeah? Last question I have left. Thirteenth question now. Which question I have left? X, Y, and Z are 3 contestants in a race of 1000 meters. Assume that all run with different uniform speeds. Again, whenever it comes speeds, you cannot have the same speed throughout. Uniform speeds you can imagine. X gives Y start of 40 meters. So who is more generous here? Generous. X is giving Y. So who is the fastest among X and Y? X. And X gives Z start of 64 meters. Among X and Z, who is the fastest? X, correct? Among Z and Y, who is the fastest? Y, because Y is taking only 40 meters. What about Z? Z is taking, so in 1000 meter race, when X covers 1000, Y would be covering 40 meters less, no? What about Z? 64 meters less than X. So that is 936. If Y and Z were to compete in race of 1000 meters, so this is their ratio. This is their ratio, 960 is to 936. But now X is not there in the race. Only Y and Z are in the race and they are running 1000 meter race. Then how many meters start will Y give? Okay, this is not, I think in your paper it is corrected already. Yes, Y give to Z. So now calculate. So how much is this? So take the ratio of these things. 960, this one. So what is this? So this is nothing but 1000 into 936 divided by 960. 0, 0 get cancelled. So here 6 16s are, 6 1s are 6, 6 5s are 30 and 6 6s are. Again I can cancel by 4. 4 4s are and 4 3s are and 4 4s are. Yes? 4 9s are. Okay. Then 4 1s are, 4 25s are. So 25 into 39. How much? How much? 975, no? So by the time Y covers 1000 meters, am I correct or not? Here. Correct? Yeah. So by the time Y covers 1000, so how much will be covered by Z? 975. So how much head start should give? 25 meters. Or simple, take here only. When he has run 960, he has run 936. He is giving 24 meters difference while running 960. So what is the relation between 960 and 24? It is 40 times. So 1000 is 40 times of 25. So head start should be 25. Okay, fine. Simple. In such cases, whether it is A, B, C, write their distances covered in particular races. Under A, under B, under C. In different races. You will get ratio and proportion in one or the other way. Try to fill the blanks with the cross multiplication. Understood? Here what we had got? 960 is to 936 we had got from this. But now X is not in the race. Only Y and Z are in the race. Y is covering 1000. So 3 knowns are there. The 4th unknown we can find out by cross multiplication. That is 975. So how much is the difference? 25. Done? Yeah. So practice all these things.